I found my girlfriend's engagement ring in the pocket of a coat I'd never seen her wear, buried under a pile of laundry she'd asked me, no, begged me, not to touch. My hands were shaking when I pulled it out, still warm from the dryer, and for a split second I thought maybe she was planning to propose to me. But the initial of someone else's name was etched inside the band, and my stomach dropped so hard I had to sit down on the pile of mismatched socks. I remembered the late-night calls she took in the bathroom, the business trips that always ended with her coming home smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. I felt like an idiot, standing there with that cold little piece of proof in my palm. I confronted her as soon as she walked in, her face ghost white when she saw what I was holding. She didn't even try to deny it. She told me she was engaged before she met me, and that she'd never called it off. She'd just started a new relationship with me and let the two lives run parallel. I started shouting, and she started crying, and all the ugly things between us came spilling out. She said she loved us both. She said she couldn't choose. I told her I didn't want to be anyone's backup, and she said I was never supposed to find out. The next day, the other fiancé showed up at my apartment. He'd tracked her phone, or maybe she told him. He wanted to talk, but the first thing he did was punch me in the jaw. She stood between us, screaming that we didn't understand, that we were both just filling the holes her parents had left in her. The three of us ended up sitting in the kitchen with melting ice packs, just staring at each other, trying to piece together whose life had been the biggest lie. No one had any answers. I wish I could say I walked away and never looked back, but the truth is, I still think about her. Not in the way you're supposed to, but in the way you remember a fever, or a car crash, something that changed you, but left a scar you can't quite explain. I realized I wasn't just angry at her, I was angry at myself for ignoring every red flag, for loving someone who needed more than I could ever give. Maybe I was just as addicted to the chaos as she was.